Thank you for your interest in the STREAM team. My name is Rich Cairns, and along with Steve Miller, Jim Schauberger, and Smith Cheney, we are the STREAM team. The STREAM team the mission of the STREAM team is to maintain and sustain an online worship presence to serve the parish, the community, and beyond. We are a group who have come together and have put together a program that has begun back in the summer of 2020, and we have identified our vision as being to live stream worship services in a way that is attractive to our members, retains their attention, and gives them an opportunity to worship in their homes. Now, our vision also is that this is not just a short-term ministry. This is a long-term ministry, and after the pandemic is over, we will continue to stream our worship services to serve those who are unable to attend worship in the sanctuary. So I'm going to, at this time, invite each of the members of the team to introduce themselves and give a little summary of their background. I want to emphasize that our goal is to put together a system that is capable of being operated by volunteers who have no technical background or great technical background. And we hope that this system will be able to be operated by 2 or 3 people, and that's where we're headed. So I want to begin and invite Steve to introduce himself and give a little background on his experience with streaming.
Thanks, Rich. I've been a member of Trinity since 2003, and through this period of time, I've seen a lot of different improvements, and this is one of the greatest that I think that we're going to do for the long term for Trinity to help people in our community and those that have moved away from our community to continue being a member of Trinity and worshiping with the fellowship we have here at Trinity. As most of you know, I've been involved in running the sound system. We did some work on that several years ago, and that's a continuing thing as we get into more of technical issues that we need to resolve, and primarily it's going to have to be looked at as far as streaming. As far as streaming is concerned, the first thing that we had to do is to get an internet service into Trinity, and that was capable of streaming without interruption, without delays, without artifacts, so that it becomes a continuous show, worship service at everybody's home. That was an arduous situation. None of the local services were able to do that, so we did do a business deal with a local startup business that has been here at the lake for a couple of years only, and they provide as much internet capacity as we could ever use, and so now we have good solid internet service at Trinity, and we're able to bring the streaming to you. Okay,
Jim?
I'm Jim Schauberger and been a member of Trinity for almost 20 years, and agreeing with Steve and Rich, this is a brand new area for this church, and I think it's going to expand our outreach greatly over time, and from what I'm hearing from people, they're really enjoying it. My background is photography, and I've been a professional for over 50 years. Now, with that experience in mind, 95% of it is superfluous. It's all changed so dramatically in the last couple of years with digital, with streaming, with the equipment and everything else. So my background lends itself more to the compositional and as Rich calls it, the artsy stuff, to make the streaming and the video a little more interesting. And I'm looking forward to continuing it.
Thanks, Jim. Smith.
I'm Smith Cheney, and I've been around Trinity for just a little over 2 years now. My background, I'm an electrical engineering degree, I started doing technical theater stuff in high school. You can ask Jenny Brock about that if you want to. And went on, when I went to Virginia Tech, I worked with the Tech Showmen and then the New Virginians in the technical crew. And since then I've recorded hundreds of choir programs and audio, and then my children's plays and things at school on video. So I just learned how to put stuff together and make it work. And you probably saw me scurrying around last Sunday when our equipment failed, trying to figure out how to get something together that we could work with. So Rich did an excellent job of taking care of that problem without my being successful. So we appreciate that.
Okay, just a brief history. We started out, first of all, we have to give kudos to Christopher Gerardo, who really got us up and running in the early part of the pandemic. He put together the YouTube channel for us. He bought this. This is a camera. It's called a Mevo, and this was the original camera that we used to stream from this sanctuary. Some of you may remember the first streaming session went really well. The next 2 or 3 or 4 just failed because, as Steve said, we had really terrible internet coverage, and so we really had to shut down the streaming because we just couldn't stream. We graduated from the Mevo slowly, thanks to Smith, who put together a step-by-step program to bring us into the 21st century. And then I'm going to let Steve Smith go ahead and kind of walk you through that, and then we'll get back to the back and show you the control area.
Okay, well, what we started doing is we took camcorder and actually recorded the service from different locations. We did the choir loft and over on the other side to see what camera position looked good. Then we picked out 2 positions, and fortunately I have a son who has done this for a church in Blacksburg, so I camped on with what he had already figured out, got the same basic equipment, and so that we could switch between the 2 cameras as we were sending our stream out. Then we added a 3rd camera from another position for the music, and just brought that stuff together. We need monitors. We got monitors for the camera operators, and the computer system has to hook to the internet and the streaming system and make all that connection. So we got all that worked out step by step, and we got an expert operator in Rich that's able to switch between the scenes, and our camera operators, the scenes that they provide for us are outstanding. I'd like to also mention that there are a couple of young people in the church that also help us with camera work and sound. So it's a large team already, and we need more help because we don't have backup.
Yep, Anna Bachnight has been running sound along with Steve, who's really the sound expert, and then Josh Bachnight has also been helping with camera work, and he's been under the tutelage of Jim. So we're going to walk back to the back and show you the control center, and then Steve's going to show you the future, because the future is almost here. We've got some new equipment that we're excited about, and Steve will be able to show you that. So let's walk back to the back control area. Okay, so this is the control area, but I would like to begin by saying that the stream that you see every Sunday begins earlier in the week when Linda Warman puts together the order of worship, and then we take it and we actually put together a script. And so every camera shot is integrated into the order of worship so that we have a plan to switch from camera to camera in the midst of the service. Now I'm going to invite Smith over to explain all of this.
The script is important because the camera operator needs to know what shot to set up. What we have, we have this monitor shows the 4 cameras, or 3 cameras that we have, plus the graphics that Linda puts together for us. And we can put those graphics on the screen like this, or we can keep our camera shots
I'll give you some movement on it, Smith.
That's the movement on the camera. Oh, okay, that's number 2. So we can have camera shots like Jim is moving the camera around, and we can go to different parts of the sanctuary. The screen in the second screen is the graphics, and we can see what's coming up and what's up there. So that switches to the graphics that we need. This screen is our connection to YouTube Live, and it is where we can monitor. When we're streaming, we actually see the stream up there, so we can monitor, use that to make our connection. And over on the far side is the control screen for the video switcher, which allows us to configure the switcher, and also it can actually control it. And when I switch, you can see that things change on that screen there. So that's what we have with the 4 screens here. We also monitor on an iPad the actual stream that you're seeing, just to be sure that we are actually getting out to the world.
So as Smith said earlier, we began using 3 camcorders, and now we have acquired new cameras and a new system, and Steve Miller is now going to explain to you how that's going to operate.
We're going to be moving to essentially the 3rd generation of streaming equipment that we will have used in the process of building the final system for Trinity. Part of the system has arrived, part of it is being constructed, being built, being shipped, and unfortunately the ice storm in Texas has actually delayed a little bit of it, but we'll be getting there. What we'll be doing is moving this equipment up to the sound booth, which is located up above the back wall of the sanctuary. So we'll be out of the way, we'll be able to put a window in, so if we need to discuss things about moving from this shot to that shot to improve the streaming, we can do it without disturbing the sanctuary. We'll have essentially the same monitor arrangement, so we'll be able to see what we're accomplishing. Some of the new equipment will be such as this camera right here, which is a new pan, tilt, and zoom camera that will be mounted on the back wall of the sanctuary, as well as 2 other side locations, and they will be doing most of the broadcasting. They will be controlled by a keyboard such as this. It'll have a joystick, so we'll be able to move the cameras selectively and point them where we want, and be able to then allow the switching system to move to the next shot and be able to progress through the service. A new computer is being built. It will run a software package called vMix, which is the package of desire for most houses of worship, and it is the best one that's available today. It has a lot of features that are very important, and it's relatively easy to use. So we'll be doing all of this upstairs in the what was known as the sound room.
That's part of the photography part of it, is you've got to have something interesting. And just a standard view of someone standing at a pulpit is pretty boring and put someone to sleep in a hurry. So our job is to try to find some interest. The cameras 1 and 2 are kind of like an orchestra or a band. Camera 1 is the main camera here, center line, and it's like the strings part of an orchestra.
Camera 2 is more like the horns and the woodwinds. Camera 3 is a specialty camera, and it's like the percussion session. It really gives the depth to a production. It'll center on when Sharon's playing the organ. We can actually go in nice and tight where the camera is standing and get her fingers, so you've got a note and a finger and a key all at the same time. And I think that adds an awful lot to the production of it.